Here's chapter 21, chapter 2 of 20. You can via remote means. Members of the public who wish to access the meeting may do so uh, or by calling. No in-person attendance of the public permitted. Every effort will be made to ensure that adequately access meetings in means. We are that you can web or video recording transcript other kinds of as soon as possible. Here, agenda function. All right, seeing none, we will go ahead and move on to licenses. And Steve, you said we do not need to do Cisco Cafe, correct?
No, we can bypass that. They had to transfer something. They had to correct some things to the ABCC. They sent it back. I wasn't sure if it needed a vote or not on Tuesday, so I put it on just in case, but it doesn't. So.
Got it. Okay, then we will move on to lunch cart food truck license applications. Al and Bar LLC doing business as Gigabyte Food Truck. Do we have somebody here for that?
We do, looks like.
All right, I see Ahmed Hassanin.
Yes,
Hassanin.
Hassanin, yes.
Hassanin, wonderful. Yeah, so you just want to tell us a little bit about what you're going on, kind of what your plans are here. I've
Okay.
got the pictures here.
Yeah. Okay. I have my food truck. It's a small one. It's not a big one. It's basically it's a halal New York. It's a halal food. It's a New York style. We have like a pretty small menu, like only five items, like the platter, box. We have sandwiches and drinks. That's it. And also the drinks is like something soda and water, just it. We have like I have a small experience in the field. It's not small, like 5 years experience in the food and beverage. So yeah, that's it.
Got it. And I see here it's a detailed description of requested location. So you're looking to operate in front of the Unitarian Meeting House?
No, other side is like 122 North Pleasant Street, the other spot. Because Steven, he told me that there is already a food court already in this spot, and um, I don't like to like be with like the same place because it will be um, very hard to stay together the same spot.
What did you say the address was?
122 North Pleasant Street is in
And
front
this
of the
is
church.
that's outside of the Catholic Church there, the big one?
Yes.
Got it.
122 North Pleasant Street.
Yeah, the one in front of the church.
So that's not the right address.
Okay.
But just to jump in, so Rob reviewed the application just for size, and we determined that this one is probably small enough to do on sidewalk and only a couple locations, which would be, and these are of the pre-existing locations, which we don't get much use of, but there is a spot in front of on South Pleasant Street, right by the intersection, on the Bank of America side, right by there, past the benches. And then the other spot is in front of St. Bridget's Church. I'm not sure if this one will actually work or not in terms of maneuvering the truck in, but you can see kind of if you're coming south towards Town Hall, um, right before the intersection, there is a space in between two trees that it could maybe be put in. I think that'd be challenging with maneuvering and some parking meters and the parking spaces there, but that could potentially be tried.
Okay. Okay, I
So
will.
Mr. Hassanin was looking for on sidewalk or on street. But it would be restricted to those two on sidewalk locations because it's the only thing that would fit. And the Unitarian Church, and if he doesn't want to use it, that's fine. But
Okay.
Got it. Okay, so I see that spot. That's like over in front of the benches or just off to the side. There used to be that I can't remember what they used to sell, some type of like Asian food, like dumplings or something like that. There was a cart that used to operate there briefly, Steve. Am I correct about that?
I don't have any memory of that. I'll see if I can share my screen and show you.
Right. In the meantime,
It would be, so here's the intersection. It would be right here.
got it. Okay.
Across from those benches.
Yep.
Kind of, I'll pull it back up again, but kind of in between these two trees here. So yes, across in front of the benches here, but it would be off the sidewalk area. It can't be on the
Mhm.
sidewalk area, but it would be on the there's kind of a different paving you can see. It would be on the concrete here.
Got it. Okay.
And so that could be challenging, obviously, with if cars are parked here and maneuvering it into the space, but it could be tried. It may not work out, but
yeah, okay. Questions from other board members?
Would you be receptive to coming back to meet us in like another month if that location's not working out to troubleshoot to find other locations?
I'm sorry.
Would you feel comfortable coming back to check in with us in a month's time to see how that location's working and if there've been any complaints or
Of course.
how
Of course. Yeah,
everything's
yeah, yeah.
going?
Yeah, yeah, of course. Of course.
And then go ahead.
Yeah, already I'm planning to open yeah, like in 2 or 3 weeks, so I'm still have time. Maybe after 2 weeks, I'm going to submit a report to Stephen. If you are not available, I can submit a report to Stephen if this place is good or not, the people they are complaining or not, the customer they are satisfied with this location or not. So I can submit a full report to Stephen.
I see your hours here are 10 to 2 a.m. Are you planning to be kind of late night?
Only in weekends. The late night will be only in weekends because yeah.
And then in terms of, I don't see any lighting on the pictures of the truck. There's no exterior lights to that. Am I correct?
Yes, because I didn't buy it yet, because I read the regulation before the Stephen he told me before I set up any lights, I have to get approved first. That's why I didn't set up any lights until I get approved.
Yeah. What are your plans for DoorDash? Because I know we've had issues with DoorDash blocking traffic in the past. Is that something you're planning on utilizing?
Actually, yes, I have a DoorDash, but actually, I didn't think about where the dasher will be parking, but they may park, like, for example, in the other side, for example, like in the street or the gas station.
I don't know if Ren's is going to want DoorDash parking in their parking lot, and I don't think we're particularly going to want traffic being blocked on North Pleasant Street
Of
for
course.
DoorDash. I understand DoorDash is a major part of this business, but if you want to be over there, I'd only be okay approving this license conditional that you do not use DoorDash, because this has been an issue that led to us. One of the reasons why we've removed food trucks from Kendrick Park was because of the issues that were being generated from DoorDash. If we move it right there to North Pleasant, that's going to be an even bigger issue than having it on North Pleasant.
I have a suggestion if you wanna hear it.
I'm open to it.
Yeah, I have like a contact with the manager for Burger Beagle. I can get something like a permission from them to the Dasher park in their parking lots in the back.
What does the rest of the board think? I'm very hesitant on continuing DoorDash for food trucks. It's been an issue, and I don't know if it's an issue that we want to continue allowing. What are other board members' thoughts on this?
So, are we, so our other, where the other truck is, so I see the other food truck. I can't remember what it's called, but it's parked on the common right now.
Mhm.
And they're still using DoorDash? Are they?
To the best of my knowledge, yes. And I think
Yeah,
that was one of the
okay.
reasons why we sent it up there, because there is
Right.
more capacity for DoorDash. We're right here in North Pleasant. That is a terrible location for it.
Yeah, no, I
Um,
agree. I mean, I can think of, if we're talking about the St. Bridget's location, the only two places I can think beside, I mean, the other one besides Brugger's would be the lot behind CVS, where they would have to pay, and then they could walk down that little walkway. I mean, I mean, that's the only other place.
Yes,
not
I
like-
can. I can write in something like instructions for the Dasher. They can park either two parking like the CVS one or the Burger Beagle.
Do you think that, yes, computer be amenable to renting out spaces at night for Dashers? Would that be something to approach? Because that lot behind Brugger's is it's a private lot, usually empty at night.
The Burger Beagle.
Yeah, behind
I-
there.
Yeah, that's why I said in the beginning that I can ask the manager and the owner to give me a permission for this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's bad. Like Dylan, I completely agree with you, and I understand where you're coming from. It's bad everywhere. Like, I don't know how many times I've tried to get through the parking lot, the central parking lot downtown, and they're just lined up behind where Bueno Isano is, and all of those places. It's like they just line up, kind of all the cars are lined up back there. It's really kind of tough, and I don't know how to. I mean, I don't know if it's something that, because of the way that if it's a larger issue and we want to talk to the town or the town council about that, but I don't, what does everybody else think? I have to go in 5 minutes, so.
I would say
Just to jump in and just say a couple
Yeah.
things. I do believe that is shared parking with that computer store, and Brugger's is corporately owned, and I don't know if the manager would have the authority, the local manager would have the authority to
Mm.
authorize that. And I also would ask how you would enforce where the drivers park, how you would make them do that.
I'm
go ahead.
very, very skeptical of approving anything with DoorDash along North Pleasant here. I'm fine approving this on the condition that there will not be the use of DoorDash. I don't know if that changes anything for you in terms of where you would want to set up location. And maybe if there's some written agreement that says, but again, I still can't imagine DoorDash parking there, getting out of his car and walking when they're going to pull off to the side, throw on their blinkers, block traffic right at the stop sign as well, or not right at the stop sign, right at the traffic light. I just see that being an issue, and I don't see.
May I say something additional? I'm sorry.
Sure.
I was working as a Dasher to see the market, okay, and I worked as a Dasher for 3 months, okay, and I was following the whole instruction the store or the restaurant he written. Like, for example, he told me to park in for example, CVS parking lots. So I'm going to park in this parking lots. So I mean that, um, yeah, maybe this is kind of like solution.
I'm willing to do this. I'm willing to approve this on the condition there's no DoorDash until you return with a plan, with a written agreement from the owners of that parking lot that says that you have the permission to utilize that. Otherwise, I can see this falling apart.
sorry.
Perfect.
I just want to, I don't know if this is gonna gunk everything up, but I personally don't like the precedent of telling someone sort of what they can or cannot do in terms of how they generate income, so I'm not actually okay with saying anything about DoorDash in any of this. He hasn't, maybe I'm coming at it from a different perspective of having grown up in a city, and my definition of traffic is different. I don't mean that in like a snarky way, but I actually mean that generally, but I don't see in town the DoorDashers causing this amazing amount of traffic or gunking things up. It's a couple minutes, and I'm not really comfortable with telling him that he has to come back with a plan for DoorDash that I think is probably pretty hard to enforce, back to what Steven said, in terms of how he can decide where someone parks. Because even if it says you've got to do this, I think a lot of DoorDashers won't. But I'm not sure that it's in general this huge problem.
Just
I
to
don't
point,
know, it just sits wrong with me to tell him that he can't use DoorDash, which is a major source of his income. Or he has to come up with yet another plan and come back to us in a few weeks.
just a
Maybe
point of
it's-
clarity, Dylan, are you referring to approving DoorDash in that location or for
That
his entire
location.
operation?
For that
Okay.
location right there. Again, if this is a DoorDash operation, then I don't see the need to place it in a heavily foot trafficked area in the congested part of downtown, where if it's going to be DoorDash, why not put it somewhere where it's easier for DoorDash to park, not create issues, and then that can be the focus as opposed to trying to maximize foot traffic and DoorDash traffic at the expense of the public good. I mean, am I missing? Because I know when it was parked right outside of my home, again, it would be a regular thing where there would be several cars being backed up, and it's just a normal inconvenience. And mine is a relatively quiet road. It's off of a side road. This is now the busiest road in the busiest section of town. And now we're going to create this choke point with DoorDash throwing on their blinkers as they pull off to the side right before the traffic light. I can see this not only exacerbating traffic, I can see it being a danger if people are trying to pull around, make a light. I'm fine with DoorDash, just not in that location without a clear plan. And I think it's very much the responsibility of this board to mitigate the negative impacts that just any business, not just food trucks, but be it this board, ZBA, planning board, it's very typical that we are trying to mitigate any detrimental impacts of businesses to the community. So this is a very, very clear one where I think DoorDash will negatively impact traffic in that area.
Here's,
I have,
sorry.
excuse me, I have to go. I'm really sorry. I've got to leave, but anyway, I'll see you. Thank you. Good luck, Dylan. Good. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.
All right, thanks. Bye, Marion.
Thank you, Marion.
What about looking at our rules and giving a license at least through the start of the school year? But maybe it's in our bylaws, we want to eliminate DoorDash from all food trucks unless they're out of the way, not in downtown. Does that make sense? Because I feel like it's really hard to enforce the idea of food trucks is that they can move locally, ideally. And so I feel like we're creating this burden, like you can't have DoorDash if you're parked here, but if you park, maybe we need like a blanket ban of DoorDash within the bid district or something like that. What do you think about that, Dylan? Because I don't want to not grant a license today, but it sounds like this is a larger issue just besides this one location, because we had that at Kendrick Park. It can be, even on the common, that could become an issue too when school's in session. And then maybe that protects our local restaurants in a sense too.
In other words, not do a la carte. Yeah, every one of these being different. Have our rules be more general.
Yeah, so that it's not targeted, I mean, because how does that get enforced then? Rob's gonna have to look and say, oh, this is you can't DoorDash if you're in this location. You're this particular food, because we haven't barred other food trucks from parking and using DoorDash.
Okay. What about if you give me like a period, for example, month or two, or 4 weeks, 6 weeks, whatever you decide, and we can see if I'm operating with a DoorDash, there's any problem I'm causing or the dasher they're causing. So now I can figure out what we can do. Like I don't like, of course, to cause like huge traffic or something like this, but as you mentioned, the DoorDash is like source of income to my business. So yeah, I know that it's not 100% on DoorDash, but still it's like I can say like 20-25% of my sales from DoorDash. So yeah.
Yeah, I know we don't have kind of a blanket policy with this. Food trucks are newer in popularity to Amherst, and I feel we've been for a while there, we were updating our food truck regs every couple of months just to react to problems here. And I still think that the impact of DoorDash, especially in that location, will create a detriment to the public good. And it's, to me, feels like kind of getting absolutely everything somebody can out of a location, but again, at the detriment of the public good. It's a very high foot traffic area, but then also a very car trafficked area. And again, we've seen it. We haven't updated our regulations. We have the ability to make a conditional license here. If we say, 5 to 6 weeks, I don't think it's going to create a problem. It's not going to create a problem until September when the students and the traffic are back in town. And that's when I think it's going to start creating an issue. Again, this is my opinion. If the rest of the board disagrees with me, you can go a different direction on this one. But I think that approving this and allowing for DoorDash in that location would be a detriment. Again, open to what the rest of the board here thinks.
I think I'm having a hard time wrapping my head around barring DoorDash. I understand it's this location, but the idea that this truck might, or this cart might move to a different spot. And I'm just thinking it's unfair to bar one vendor from DoorDash when we let others have DoorDash. So I hear what you're saying, especially about this location. So I'm wondering if we could approve this through the summer and then work on kind of a zone where there is no DoorDash allowed, and that the inspectors could fine people or cite people if they do allow DoorDash.
And
As
that
a
would
que-
also.
Sorry,
say
I
it's
can't,
not-
I'm just on my phone, so I can't open it. I think the whole thing might explode. The hours he's only open are weekends, 10 p.m. to 2 a.m., or are there other hours also?
Only in the weekends. I'm going to open from the weekends from 10 in the morning or maybe 11
Oh,
till
10 a.m.,
2.
okay.
Yeah, 10
Okay.
a.m. And
Okay.
the regular days from it will be like from 11 to 10, just
Okay.
11 hours or 12 hours.
It sounds like Hallie, what you're laying out there and what Ahmed has suggested too, that we do something here that gives a green light. We can all observe how it plays out, and then we revisit it more broadly, especially if it seems like some of the problems that Dylan's laying out come out to play. And if we are gonna have something like this go down, midsummer is probably much better than fall.
Yeah. And I think we can use this time as a board to then look at our regulations again and kind of come up with a DoorDash solution for all businesses.
The point you made a few moments ago, Hallie, something I would be very open to is certainly allowing for DoorDash if this were to operate, say, up at the town common, somewhere where that's already taking place, and we've yet to hear complaints about that. I would, again, I'm willing to approve the license conditional that no DoorDash takes place while operating outside of the St. Bridges location. That's
That sounds good to me, and I think we should revisit it as a whole before school starts. What do you think?
I think so, but that's going to be up to you guys. This is my last meeting.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's end of 5 years. So in that case, we can, because Steve, we can approve multiple locations. Am I correct about that?
Well, it's a little odd because generally they would be approved for on street and or on sidewalk or both, and they would just get blanket approval for all of those within those categories. And and the problem with the on sidewalk locations is that they are over 10 years old, and back then you could have a much smaller kind of classic hot dog cart, and these days with the way the health regulations have changed, those aren't really viable anymore. So the restriction, so to speak, of the viable on sidewalk spaces I presented is just due to size. But it would be kind of a blanket approval on sidewalk for the on sidewalk locations besides that size restriction. So there's those 3 that were identified.
But we can approve specific locations. There's nothing stopping us from doing that.
Let me just take a look. I've got it up here. So it says the board reserves the right to restrict the availability of particular locations for particular licensees if the vehicle is unable to reasonably fit, which we've already done. And they can put time of day restrictions on any location. But no, they would be able to move between those 3 spaces, those 3 on sidewalk spaces, and all the on street spaces, or 2 left now.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure we can still put conditions on a license. So I'm going to go ahead and move to approve the license for the locations outside of the St. Bridges Church, as well as for our other location outside of Town Hall. What do we call that one, Steve?
So are you referring to the on sidewalk spaces or the on street spaces?
I'm referring to 2 spaces. I'm referring to St. Bridges Church and to South Pleasant Street, correct? Outside of Town Hall?
For the on sidewalk space, it'd be outside the bank. And then the on street spaces would be the 2 it would be the over by Sweetser Park and the west side of the town common south of Spring Street.
Okay,
So
so
those are the 2 remaining on street locations.
Okay, does anyone have any objection to just all the on-street locations?
So if I may, Dylan, the board would vote on whether to consider it an on street or on side, or the board would agree to consider it an on street or on sidewalk or both. And typically within those 2 categories, it would be everything within, but that would be a determination to be made whether it's on street, on sidewalk, or both.
So I'm trying to make a motion to say both, as far as on street is all locations, and for on sidewalk, the St. Bridges Church, as a condition of this license.
Okay, so you're making a motion to approve the on-street location, the on-street locations and only the St. Bridget's Church on sidewalk location?
And only St. Bridges on sidewalk location. And additionally, that no DoorDash will take place while operating at the St. Bridges Church location. So if they want to operate up the street on the on-street locations and they want to use DoorDash, that I'm fine with that.
Okay, and just to be clear, that's not including the South Pleasant Street on sidewalk location, which I am trying to pull up very
Correct.
quickly. That would be just for point of illumination, because I didn't show this one on the board or we're not familiar with them. I will just pop this. It would be this one right here. Okay, so just the on street and not and the one on sidewalk, subject to no DoorDash is your motion.
Correct.
So I can't use the DoorDash like in a condition.
Only if you're operating at the St. Bridges location. So if you're operating on street, you can still use DoorDash then.
I mean, even if you give me like a period of time to taste it, if I'm going to make like like a period of time to taste if I'm going to make like a traffic or not, because as I mentioned, my food truck is not big one to put it like in common park or Stewart Park. So already there's two food trucks, one food truck in common park by the city hall, and
Mhm.
the place in the sidewalk in front of the Bank of America. It's a small one. It's not small, but still I can't. This specific place in front of the Bank of America. This one, yeah, I agree that this one I can't use the DoorDash because it's a dangerous one for the walker, for the walking people, or for the cars. But the other one in the front of the church. So I think if you give me like a chance, I can try. If I have any problem, of course I'm going to report it for the Stephen, because I don't want to make a problem also for my business. Of course, I'm caring about the people. I'm caring for the traffic. That's why, yeah, like I'm asking like for a chance.
Yeah.
Well, we have a motion up. Are there any seconds?
Do we have a second?
I'm sorry.
I'm seeing if any of the members of the board, do we have a
Okay.
second for my motion? Hearing none, the motion will fail. Do we have another motion?
I
Do we
think
hear any?
going
Go ahead.
back to what Hallie said. The approving it and then for temporarily and then looking at, what did you say, Hallie? You said it better than I'm gonna say it.
I doubt that. Reviewing all of the food truck bylaws to create a DoorDash exempt district.
And that will give a window of time for Ahmed to maybe help convince us that it won't be a problem where he wants to function.
Yes.
I think
Yes.
it's a mistake, but I don't have the votes, so I will accept a motion if someone's willing to make a motion to approve.
Motion to approve a temporary license through September 1st, during which time, or on September 1st, the applicant will come before us again and we'll review our amended food truck regulations with a DoorDash district for all.
Yeah, and maybe instead of saying September 1st, our first meeting in September.
Sounds good.
All right, do we have a second?
Hallie, just to be clear, that was a move to approve a temporary license till the first meeting in September. And what came after that?
At which point we'll ask the applicant and other food truck licensees to come before us as we present our amended guidelines with a DoorDash district.
Okay, and would there need to be a motion to reapprove the license at that point? Would it expire? I'm just trying to be clear with.
Actually, no, because we'd be changing the regulations that would apply for everyone, correct?
If there was a change to the regulations, yep.
Yeah, yeah, so let's motion to approve with the understanding that come September, we are going to be revamping where you're allowed to operate a food truck along with DoorDash.
Right.
Is that right?
Yeah, so
So-
Ahmed's gonna be approved, but we're just letting him know that we're gonna revisit the DoorDash part of this. And
Yeah.
that the rules around that may change in early September. And how things play out for him may help us figure out whether or not we need to do that.
Yes.
Do we have a
All
second?
right.
I'll second it.
All right, we'll do a roll call vote. Hallie, Kurt,
Yep.
Amanda,
Yes, yay, nay.
and I vote no. That is 3-1. That passes.
So,
Thank you very much. Thank you.
I hope you're right, Ahmed.
I hope to. I hope to. Thank you very much.
All right. Well, that brings us to topics not reasonably anticipated 48 hours prior to the meeting. This is now my last meeting with you folks. It has been a pleasure. Good luck continuing dealing with issues with food trucks.
Well,
But that is on you guys now. I am done. I will just have to, like all the rest of the residents in Amherst, live with the consequences.
Dylan, I hope you
Let's
provide
see.
us with
Oh.
ample feedback, please.
I will send
Send
you
letters.
pictures of the blinking lights blocking the green lights.
Would you please do? That would be welcome. And thank you. I was at my brother's wedding last meeting. Who is taking your place? Do we have any applicants? Do you know?
We had the one applicant, but I don't know if she's what's happening there, Steve.
I believe there's been some, they are looking to schedule an interview, so we will see. And we'll see if there's any other applicants as well.
All right. Well, Dylan, you have my personal email, so I'm hoping if you start fundraising for town council, you reach out to at least me or all of us.
Will do. Yeah, I've been wanting to get started on that more and more. Oh, my earbuds just died.
Folks, you
I,
probably should do that after
I
we
was
close the
head cold for
meeting.
the last 2 weeks, which has been prime door knocking season. So as soon as this clears up, you'll see me out there. I'll get the campaign going, and you'll probably hear from my committee, as I, as a public employee, not directly solicit. So I will not be soliciting any donations myself.
Great. And I should make a motion to end the meeting. Or you should.
Can't hear anybody.
If I just missed, so Dylan, you said maybe you'd be staying on after this, but you were not for sure.
I don't think so. I think this might be it, unless there's anything specific. But I mean, you guys have a candidate who's applied. The town manager's office is dragging their feet. Don't drag me in because of it.
All right. Well, okay. And do we have a next meeting date? I think we may have left that in the air. I said was it the 17th? I said I was not available on the 10th. We do have a liquor license application in.
Yeah, I think in the last meeting, we were missing too many people, and so we were nervous about trying to schedule anything in July. We're still now short one of the people who's gonna still be here. Folks, what works in July? Maybe we try to only have one meeting in July, if we only have one liquor license to deal with.
I could do the 10th or 17th of July.
I'm good too. I'm trying to remember.
I can do those too.
Well, then why don't we go for the which ones would be closest to our norm? I guess the 10th.
I won't be available on the 10th.
Are you available?
the 17th?
Yes, I can do the 17th.
17th sounds great.
Wonderful.
All right.
And who is our new chair? Is it Marion or?
Well, we talked about this a little bit last time with Dylan leaving the field of battle. She is the vice chair, and so she will be able to run the meetings until we determine who the chair will be. And the thought was, if we were close to having the new member join, that maybe it'd be nice to not officially do that until that person joins.
I think that makes a lot of sense. It'd be nice for the new person to feel part of the group and the decision making.
So we can function for a while with our vice chair functioning as chair.
Great.
I think you guys got it. Be okay. Well, all right. I think that's everything. Yeah, it's been a pleasure serving with you folks. Hallie, you especially, since we've been on this now for 5 years together.
I
You
know.
don't- What are you trying to? Are you trying to outlast Marion? Are you guys both going for the
No.
record at this point?
No. This term is my swan song. I'm not sure when the term ends. But I'm sure Steve will let me know. But I've enjoyed it. But I think two terms is probably about right for people.
Yeah.
Right? I
All
mean, that
right.
was kind of the idea that we keep fresh.
Yeah, and you could go find a different one to join if you are so inclined.
Yeah.
DBA is looking for a lot of people, Hallie. They could really use you over there. Get
No.
over there.
So I'm looking to pare down now that I'm working more. You need more free time. So,
Oof. Well, fine, I suppose.
so
Well, all right. Anything from anybody else? If not, I will make a motion to adjourn. Do I have a second?
second.
All right. Chair votes aye. Hallie,
Aye.
Amanda,
Bye.
Kurt.
Aye.
All right, that's 4-0. We are adjourned. Everybody, enjoy the rest of your summer.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You too.
Have a happy 4th, folks.
Yep. Bye.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Dylan.
Bye, Steve. Thank you, Steve, again. Thank you, Dylan.
Take care.